In a small, forgotten village, there lived a boy who owned nothing. Nothing at all. His house was not really a house, it was a small hut made from mud and dry grass. The roof was broken, and when it rained, water came inside. At night, the cold wind entered through the cracks in the wall. His bed was only an old mat, and sometimes he slept directly on the ground. He had no toys to play with like other children. He had no shoes to protect his feet from stones and dust. Many days, he had no food, and he went to bed with an empty stomach. His family was very poor, and every day was a fight for survival. But even though his life was dark, inside his heart, there was a small light. It was not the light of money. It was not the light of comfort. It was the light of a dream. This boy had one dream, and only one dream. His dream was to learn. His dream was to gain knowledge. His dream was to fill his empty life with the power of education. He believed, deep inside, that knowledge could change everything. This story is not only about poverty. It is not only about a poor boy who had nothing. It is about courage. It is about hope. It is about the power of learning. The boy did not have food, but he had curiosity. He did not have money, but he had determination. He did not have books, but he had a fire in his heart. That fire was his dream. And maybe, my friend, this story is not just about him, it is also about you. Because you, too, are on a journey of learning. Maybe your dream is to speak English. Maybe your dream is to study in another country. Maybe your dream is to get a better job, or to help your family. Maybe today you feel small. Maybe today you feel poor, not poor in money, but poor in skills, poor in opportunities. But just like this boy, you can change your life through knowledge. This is the story of the boy who lived for knowledge. And this story carries a secret: if he could rise, so can you. The boy's early life was full of struggle. His father worked from morning to evening in the fields, under the hot sun, just to earn a little money. His mother washed clothes for richer families, her hands always tired, her back always in pain. But even with both parents working so hard, the money was never enough. Some days, they had a little rice to eat. Some days, a piece of bread. But many times, they had only water. Hunger became normal. Poverty became normal. The boy wanted to go to school like other children, but school was not free. It cost money for books, money for uniforms, money for fees. The boy's family could not afford any of that. Every morning, he watched the other children walking happily to school. They carried bags. They wore clean clothes. They laughed and played. And he stood outside, watching with silent eyes. His heart was heavy because he could not join them. But his eyes still shone, because he wanted to learn, no matter what. Every single day, the boy went to the school gate. He was not a student there, but he still came. He sat under a tree, close to a window, where he could hear the teacher's voice. He listened to the lessons from outside. He tried to remember every word. Sometimes, when the classroom was quiet, he could even hear the children reading aloud. He listened carefully, trying to repeat the words in his mind. He was like a bird, hungry for every small seed of knowledge. The children inside sometimes noticed him. Some laughed. Some pointed at him. "Look at the poor boy outside," they said. But he did not cry. He did not run away. He stayed, every single day, because he loved knowledge more than he feared mockery. His stomach was empty, but his mind was full of curiosity. His clothes were torn, but his eyes were full of light. At night, when the sun disappeared and the whole village went to sleep, the boy began his secret routine. His house had no electricity. His family had no lamp. But outside, near the street, there was one single light. A streetlight. That streetlight became his classroom. That streetlight became his sun in the dark. The boy found an old book in the trash, dirty, torn, missing many pages. But to him, it was gold. It was treasure. He carried it under the streetlight, and he read every word slowly. He struggled, but he did not stop. The villagers saw him and laughed. "Why are you studying, poor boy? You will always be poor." But he ignored their voices. He heard only one voice, the voice of his heart. That voice said, "I will not always be poor. I will learn. I will grow. I will rise." The boy's hunger for knowledge was greater than his hunger for food. He borrowed broken books from neighbors. He asked friends to lend him old newspapers. He collected pencils from the ground when other children dropped them. For him, every small piece of learning was a gift. Sometimes, he walked long distances just to stand outside a classroom window and listen. Sometimes, he stood in the hot sun for hours, sweating, but still paying attention to every word. Sometimes, he walked barefoot on sharp stones until his feet bled. But he never complained. He never gave up. He smiled, because every step, every word, every page brought him closer to his dream. He was poor in money, but rich in determination. And that determination made him strong. One day, something changed. A teacher at the school noticed the boy sitting outside again. This time, the teacher looked closely. He saw the boy's eyes. They were not like other children's eyes. They were full of light. Full of questions. Full of dreams. The teacher came outside and asked, "Why do you sit here every day?" The boy looked down, shy and nervous. Slowly, he answered, "I want to learn. But I cannot pay. I have no books. I have no uniform. I have nothing." The teacher listened carefully. His heart felt heavy. He saw not just a poor boy. He saw a fighter. He saw a warrior of learning. And the teacher made a decision. The teacher gave the boy something that changed his life forever. He gave him his first real book. A book with all its pages. A book that was not broken. A book that smelled of hope. The boy held it with both hands, as if he was holding the whole world. His eyes filled with tears. His hands shook. He whispered, "Thank you." That night, the boy did not sleep. He sat under the streetlight and read the book from beginning to end. Every page was like magic. Every word was like treasure. For the first time in his life, he felt rich. Not rich in money. Rich in knowledge. Rich in hope. Rich in possibility. From that day, the boy's life changed. He studied harder than ever before. He read when the sun was high. He read when the moon was bright. He read when he was hungry. He read when he was tired. Nothing stopped him. People still mocked him. "You will never change," they said. But he ignored them. He believed in himself. He believed in learning. Slowly, he began to see results. His mind became sharper. His words became stronger. His memory became powerful. His spirit became unbreakable. Knowledge was growing inside him like a tree, reaching higher and higher toward the sky. He carried knowledge. And that knowledge made him rich in a new way. He was no longer just a poor boy, he was a symbol of hope. The people in the village began to notice something remarkable. The young man who once sat silently outside the classroom was now becoming a guide to others. Mothers, who once felt sorry for him, began to bring their children to him. "Please help my son with reading," they asked. Fathers, who once shook their heads at his poverty, now respected him. "Teach my child to count," they said. Little by little, children from the village gathered around him in the evenings. He sat with them under the same streetlight where he had once studied alone. Now, that light was shining not only for him but for many. He explained lessons with patience. He used simple words. He repeated until everyone understood. And the children loved him because he taught with kindness, not with anger. The young man discovered something powerful: knowledge was not just for him. Knowledge was for everyone. Knowledge, when shared, became light, and light removed darkness. The same way the streetlight had removed darkness from his nights, his teaching was removing darkness from the minds of the children. Slowly, respect grew. People who once mocked him now said, "This boy is different. He carries wisdom." And inside, the young man felt something even greater. He realized that his dream was not only to fill his own mind. His dream was to open doors for others. His dream was to give the same fire of learning to every child who came to him. Now, my friend, let us pause in the story for a moment and take the big lesson. The lesson is this: knowledge can change lives. Education is real power. A hungry stomach can make your body weak, but a hungry mind can make your spirit unstoppable. The boy's stomach often had no food, yet his mind had food every day because he fed it with learning. And that is why he grew stronger, not weaker. That is why he rose higher, not lower. The people who laughed at him in the beginning could no longer laugh, because knowledge gave him a new strength they could not understand. And here is the truth for you: maybe today you feel weak. Maybe today you feel that your English is poor. Maybe people around you laugh when you try to speak. Maybe they say you cannot do it. But just like the boy, you must not listen. You must close your ears to their voices and open your heart to your dream. If a poor boy with no books could learn under a streetlight, then you, with your phone, with your internet, with your ability to watch this video, have even more power. The only question is, will you be hungry enough? Will you feed your mind every day with English, with words, with practice? Remember, money can be lost, food can be finished, clothes can be torn, but knowledge stays forever. So now, think again about your own journey. You are walking a road just like the boy. He wanted knowledge, and you want English. He faced problems, and you face problems too. Maybe you do not have time. Maybe you are shy to speak. Maybe you feel afraid of mistakes. But the boy also had fears. He also had pain. He also had reasons to give up. Yet he did not stop. And because he did not stop, his story changed. And if you do not stop, your story will also change. Imagine yourself reading English books with confidence. Imagine yourself speaking with others without fear. Imagine yourself getting new opportunities, better jobs, better studies, better life, because of English. This can happen. It is not a dream far away. It is possible, but only if you stay hungry, only if you stay strong, only if you do not give up. The boy's story is not far from you. It is right next to you. His story is a mirror, showing you your own path. You are the boy. You are the girl. You are the dreamer. And you can become the winner. Let us return to the boy's journey. The boy had nothing. No shoes. No toys. No food many nights. But with knowledge, he gained everything. He discovered that learning was the greatest treasure, more valuable than gold, more powerful than weapons, more lasting than money. He showed the world that poverty cannot stop a dream. He showed the world that hunger cannot kill a vision. He showed the world that one book, one page, one word can change a life. And now, his story speaks directly to you. Your book is English. Your page is today. Your word is the first step you take right now. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait for the perfect time. Begin now. Read now. Listen now. Speak now. Practice now. Just like the boy under the streetlight, use what you have, not what you wish you had. Because your future is not decided by what you lack, but by what you do with what you already hold. And you hold more than you think. You hold the power to learn. You hold the power to grow. You hold the power to change your life. So, start. Do not give up. Keep walking. The world is waiting for your light. If a boy with no books, no shoes, and no school can learn, then what about you? Think for a moment. Right now, you are watching this video. That means you already have something the boy never had. You have a phone, or maybe a computer. You have internet. You have access to the entire world of knowledge in your hand. You can listen to stories. You can watch lessons. You can read articles. You can connect with teachers and friends across the planet. The boy did not have any of this. He had only one broken book, one streetlight, and one strong dream. And still, he learned. So what is stopping you? Maybe your problem is not lack of resources, but lack of consistency. Maybe you study for 1 day, then stop for 3 days. Maybe you get excited, then tired. But remember, success comes to those who continue, not to those who stop. Imagine if the boy stopped reading because the book was old. Imagine if he stopped listening because people laughed. Imagine if he stopped walking because the road was hard. His story would have ended there. But he did not stop, and that is why we are talking about him today. So, my friend, I am telling you with love, do not stop. Your phone can be your streetlight. Your notebook can be your treasure. Your dream can be your fire. Use them. Keep going. Think about the voices you hear every day. Some people may tell you, you cannot do it. English is too difficult. You will never improve. Some may laugh when you speak with mistakes. Some may even say, why waste your time? These voices are dangerous. They are like heavy stones tied to your feet, pulling you down. But inside you, there is another voice. A smaller voice, softer, but full of hope. It says, I can learn. I can change. I can grow. You must choose which voice to follow. The poor boy also had to choose. Every day, he heard people mocking him, saying he was foolish. But he also heard the voice inside him, saying, one more page. One more lesson. One more step. And he chose that inner voice again and again. That is why his life changed. And this is why your life can change too. Mistakes do not mean failure. Laughter from others does not mean you should stop. Every mistake is a step forward. Every laugh is proof that you are trying. And trying is better than doing nothing. So, close your ears to the world's negativity and open your heart to your own dream. Listen carefully to the voice inside you. It is your guide. The boy's story is not just about books or studying. It is about transformation. Transformation means change, deep, powerful, lasting change. When he began, he was only a poor boy sitting outside the classroom. People saw him as nothing, as invisible. But because he learned, because he worked, because he refused to give up, he transformed into something more. He became a teacher, a guide, a light for others. His transformation did not happen in one day. It was slow. It was step by step. It was built from patience, from hunger, from tears, from determination. And that is how real change always happens. You also can transform. Today, you may feel small in English. Maybe you only know a few words. Maybe you are shy to speak. But if you give yourself time, if you practice every day, even just a little, you will change. 1 year later, you will not recognize yourself. You will speak with confidence. You will understand movies, books, conversations. And others will look at you with respect. They will say, this person was once shy, but now speaks freely. Transformation is possible for everyone, including you. The secret is simple, never give up. As the boy's knowledge grew, so did his respect in the village. People who once laughed at him now asked him for advice. They brought their children to him, asking him to explain lessons. The boy, who had once been hungry and ignored, now became important. He realized something very powerful: knowledge is not just for yourself. Knowledge is for sharing. Knowledge is like fire. If you keep it only for yourself, it will stay small. But if you share it, it spreads and grows, and soon the whole world can feel its warmth. The boy began to teach other children, not because he wanted money, but because he wanted them to feel the same light he felt when he opened his first book. And this is also true for you. Your English is not only for you. It is not only for your job or your future. It is also for the people you will inspire. It is for your children, your family, your friends, your community. When they see you learning, they will believe they can learn too. When they hear you speak English, they will think, if he can do it, if she can do it, then I can do it too. Your learning is not just personal. It is a gift for the world. The boy became a source of hope in his village. Before, he was invisible. Now, he was a leader, even without a title. Children followed him. Adults respected him. People saw that knowledge had given him a new strength. And you, too, can become a source of hope. Maybe in your family, you are the first one learning English. Maybe in your town, people think it is impossible. But when you learn, when you show progress, you give them hope. You show them a new path. And that is one of the greatest purposes of education, not only to lift yourself, but to lift others with you. Remember, you are not learning English just for exams, just for certificates, just for money. You are learning it for freedom. Freedom to express yourself. Freedom to connect with the world. Freedom to dream bigger. The boy in the story found freedom through knowledge. You will find freedom through English. And when that happens, people will not only respect you, they will be inspired by you. And that is how one life can change many lives. The boy, now grown into a young man, understood something very important: real strength does not come from muscles, or money, or power. Real strength comes from knowledge, from wisdom, from the ability to think, to question, to dream. He remembered the days when people laughed at him. He remembered the nights when he read under the cold streetlight while his stomach was empty. He remembered walking barefoot on sharp stones just to reach a classroom window. And he smiled, because all of that pain had given birth to his strength. The struggles became his teachers. The hunger became his motivation. The rejection became his power. And now, when he looked at the children around him, he wanted them to know that they did not need to wait for miracles. They did not need to be rich to begin learning. They did not need perfect conditions. They only needed a hungry heart, a heart that would not stop asking, not stop reading, not stop dreaming. And you, my friend, are exactly the same. Maybe your English is not perfect yet. Maybe your life is not easy. But do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not wait until you have more time, more money, more comfort. Begin today, with what you have. Because knowledge grows not in comfort, but in challenge. The young man's story teaches us another powerful truth: respect comes when you respect yourself first. In the beginning, nobody respected him. Children laughed. Adults ignored him. Even his own family sometimes told him, "Stop wasting your time." But he respected his dream. He respected knowledge. He respected himself enough to continue, even when nobody believed in him. And because he respected himself, one day, the whole village respected him too. This is the same in your journey of English. At first, people may laugh at your pronunciation. Now, let me tell you the big message of this story. Knowledge can change lives. Education is the most powerful tool you can have. A hungry stomach can make you weak, but a hungry mind can make you unstoppable. The boy had an empty plate many nights, but he had a full heart. His hunger for learning was stronger than his hunger for food. And because of that, he rose higher than anyone believed possible. And you, too, must keep your hunger alive, not hunger for bread, but hunger for English, hunger for growth, hunger for a better life. Every time you open your book, every time you practice speaking, every time you listen to English stories, you are feeding your mind. And the more you feed it, the stronger it becomes. Never believe that you are too old, too weak, or too poor to learn. The boy was poor, but he became rich with knowledge. You may feel weak today, but tomorrow you can become strong. The only thing you need is hunger. Hunger to learn. Hunger to grow. Hunger to never stop. So, my dear friend, relate this story to your own journey of English. The boy's dream was knowledge. Your dream is English. The boy faced poverty. You may face fear, mistakes, or lack of confidence. The boy read under a streetlight. You may study on your phone late at night. The boy walked miles to listen to a teacher. You may walk miles inside your own heart, fighting laziness and doubt. But the lesson is the same: do not give up. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not wait for someone to push you. Push yourself. Practice even when you are tired. Learn even when you are busy. Speak even when you are afraid. Because every step, no matter how small, is a step forward. The boy with nothing became a man with everything, because he never stopped learning. And you, too, can transform your life. English can open doors you never imagined. It can connect you with people, with opportunities, with dreams bigger than you thought possible. But only if you continue. Only if you believe. Only if you stay hungry. So take this story, take this fire, and keep moving forward. Your journey is not finished. It is only beginning. The boy's story reached a moment of truth. He looked back at his life and remembered the little child who sat outside the classroom, who listened through the window, who read torn pages under the streetlight. That child had nothing, no shoes, no food, no toys. But that child had a dream. And now, the dream had become reality. The boy had become a young man full of wisdom, full of confidence, full of hope. His life was not perfect. He was still poor in money. But he was rich in something far greater. He was rich in knowledge, rich in respect, rich in purpose. And he realized something very important: if knowledge could change his life, then it could change any life. He was not special because of luck. He was special because he refused to stop. And you, my friend, must remember this truth. You do not need to be the smartest. You do not need to be the richest. You do not need perfect conditions. You only need hunger, consistency, and courage. These three things will make you unstoppable. Just like the boy. Now imagine the power of education in your own life. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. Imagine you practice English every day, even just for 10 minutes. Imagine you read simple books, listen to simple stories, watch videos, repeat words, and never give up. Slowly, day by day, your English grows. 1 year later, people hear you speaking clearly. They see you reading fluently. They watch you understanding movies and songs in English. And they will ask you, how did you do it? And you will smile and say, I did it the same way the poor boy did. I did not stop. That is the secret. There is no magic. There is no shortcut. There is only practice, patience, and hunger. If the poor boy could rise with only one torn book and one streetlight, then you, with your phone and your internet, can rise even higher. You can travel. You can work in better jobs. You can study anywhere. You can change your family's future. But it all begins with today. It all begins with one step. One word. One lesson. The boy's transformation gave light to his entire village. Before, people thought education was only for the rich, only for those with money. But when they saw the poor boy rise through knowledge, they began to believe. Mothers started dreaming for their children. Fathers started supporting education. Children no longer felt ashamed to study. The boy had given them hope. He had shown them a new way. And you, 2. Can be that light in your family, in your circle, in your community. When people see you learning English, when they hear you practicing, when they watch you improve, they will also begin to believe. Your courage will become their courage. Your learning will become their inspiration. Just like the boy became a symbol of hope for his village, you can become a symbol of hope for those around you. This is why your English is not only for yourself. It is for everyone who looks at you and says, if he can do it, if she can do it, then I can do it too. Your learning is not just a private goal. It is a public light. Keep it burning. Now let us take the final lesson. The boy had nothing, but with knowledge, he gained everything. His stomach was empty, but his mind was full. His hands were weak, but his dream was strong. His life was poor, but his spirit was rich. And that is the secret we must remember: knowledge is the greatest treasure. Money can disappear. Jobs can disappear. Clothes can break. But knowledge stays with you forever. Nobody can steal it. Nobody can destroy it. It lives inside you and grows with you. And for you, right now, the knowledge you need is English. English is your key. English is your door. English is your treasure. If a boy with no books, no teachers, and no comfort could learn under a streetlight, then you, with your phone, your notebook, your internet, your courage, can master English. All you need is hunger. All you need is consistency. All you need is belief. So, my dear friend, let us close this story with one truth. If a boy with nothing can rise, then so can you. The boy lived for knowledge, and that knowledge gave him freedom. And now, your dream is to learn English. This will give you freedom too. Do not doubt yourself. Do not wait. Do not stop. Begin today. Begin now. Read. Listen. Speak. Practice. Every day. Even if you feel small, even if you feel weak, even if others laugh. Keep going. Because one day, you will look back, just like the boy, and you will say, I had nothing. But with knowledge, I gained everything. And that moment, my friend, will be the beginning of your new life. The boy's story has ended, but your story is just beginning. Write it with courage. Write it with hunger. Write it with English. The world is waiting for your light.